Hi, I'm back, and in this video we're going to be making this layout, and it's the same idea from the previous video where I showed you how I work with this little collection called Harvest Bloom that I created for iheartstudio.ca. You can find it there. And you know what, I just love these late blooms, and they remind me of fall, but also they're happy and florally. I don't know. I just like them. I also created these little phrases, and then I'm working with this kit by Studio Calico called Gypsy Moon, which is beautiful. And while I show you the kit, I just want to mention that I created something similar in the illustrations for the Art Journaling Series 2. So if you bought the Art Journaling Series 2, you'll find illustrations fairly similar to the ones that you can see here. These ones are slightly different, and I call them Harvest Blooms, and you can purchase them separately on iHeartStudio. I love these little ambersands made of wood veneer, and then these little cork arrows that I painted white at some stage in a video, and then these phrases by Jasmine Jones, which is beautiful, handwritten, very cute, and adorable words that she used. So I love them. And then the pattern papers, of course, and I'm not a big fan of big pattern papers, but I do use them a lot in these videos that I created with the kit, and I just cut them up or punch them out. That's actually what I do, punch them out. Okay, so I'm very excited to just show you the process for this video. The short video is very simple process. I'm working with deep violet acrylic paint. There you can see the palette's already, painted on and painted with. And I'm just going to paint stripes. Okay, so I've used this a couple times. This technique, I used it in Valentine pages, 16 Ways to Love. We painted with pink stripes, and I used it in, I think it was the Primavera mini class, where I painted with black stripes, and now I'm painting with purple stripes. So I think it's like a reoccurring theme for me. I don't feel bad if I use the same technique. Over and over again, and it's the same with using the same picture over and over again. I never grow tired of using an old technique again, because you always find new ways to do it. There you can see a snippet of the previous layout that I created, and here's the stripes. I'm using the same stencil that I just used on the previous page, and I didn't even wash it, but I'm just going to scrape through a little bit of molding paste, light molding paste on here as well. And you can see that I'm not using the whole stencil. I'm just using parts of the middle, and look how lovely it came out. There's one or two little plus signs that smudged, but that's okay. I'll show you in a second that I will be covering them up. So that's the nice thing about scrapbooking. You know what? If you make a mistake, you just stick something over it, a sticker or something. So now I'm punching out papers with my square punch. I think this is like 1.5 inches. I love punches, and I love round ones, and I love square ones, and I love heart ones, and I love butterflies. So those are probably the ones that I have the most of in my little drawer of punches. Even though when you have a silhouette cameo, it's like having a wall full of punches, so you don't have to even buy a punch if you have a silhouette cameo. Having said that, it's just fun to have something that you can just quickly use. So I'm just punching out a number of squares. I love working with design elements, circles and squares, and I I want to say too many things now. Okay, so first of all, I just want to say I didn't even want to work with the navy part of this paper. So if you flip this leaf paper over, it's beautiful navy. It's almost like inverted colors, and I didn't even want to work with it. And then one of those little squares, when I put it down, it flipped over, and I just loved the dark color. And in the end, I think I used the B or the A side or B side, I don't know which side it is, but the navy side more than this side, which is, you see that, how pretty is that? And I think the dark color just worked lovely with the violet paint. So I think another reason why I love the violet paint and the navy and dark colors, it's because it's late fall. And in Canada, it's white with winter already. So so working with full pages now is sort of, it's I'm reminiscing. I don't even know if I said that right. Remember, right, people, that English is my second language. And if I isn't or in the wrong places, then I just chalk it down to that. So I love the dark colors that I used on this page, because I think the late fall is a little bit, everything is dying, everything is, closing down, it's hibernating, going into hibernation. So maybe that's the reason why. Maybe I'm getting too philosophical now. Okay, so I'm just going to create like how many squares are there? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 little squares, and I'm going to turn my page around so that the stripes are vertical. And now I'm just going to lay the little squares down, and then I'm just going to stick it down with some hot glue. And I love this page. I love how it turned out. In fact, when I put everything together, I might or might not have squealed with the light. Really, it's just amazing how something can just come together sometimes. Now I'm deciding where to add my photograph, and then I'm going to use a bloom, but vertically like that, and I'm going to use an ampersand on it. So it just came together really lovely. I'm going to cut my photograph a little smaller, just because I don't know, I want to show more of the background. I think that's the reason why. And then I'm going to use the illustration to break it up. So it's almost like just a central focus point. Even though it's not quite in the middle, it's just slightly off center, but that's okay. And I think this is just getting a little bit adventurous with your papers and with what you have, because sometimes okay, again, I want to say too many things at once. That's another reason why I absolutely love little 6x6 paper pads, because the patterns are a little smaller, and if you cut it up and use little pieces of pattern paper on your page, you don't waste so much paper. Even though I do keep my scraps in a box, so I do use them over and over again for cards and everything else. So I decided to go with a picture of Kirsten and Tia, my two oldest girls, because of the ampersand. And it's the and thing. So I thought to myself, well, I'm using and on it, so I might as well put Tia and Kirsten on there. So that's literally what I was thinking while I was figuring out what to do. And I love the ampersand. In fact, I on one of my workshops, online workshops, I think the one with art and design, I used the ampersand as a design element on one of the pages, which I love. So it's something that you can, it's such a generic text that works on almost any page. So there I adhered everything together, and now I'm just going to add photo corners to my picture. One thing that I would do sometimes when I'm low on mojo, and by the way, I have a video on YouTube when you don't have any mojo to create. It's actually the most watched video on my YouTube channel. It's very interesting to me. But anyway, so apparently a lot of people don't have mojo. So what I like to do when I need inspiration, or I just don't have any inspiration to create, is I go back to my own scrapbook pages from years ago, and sometimes I just find something that triggers inspiration. And for this one, it was a page that I created long ago where I used the little plus signs, and I just loved it, and that just triggered everything for this little series that I created with the Studio Calico kit. I'm just adding a tiny bit of white paint with a dabber on the amber sand, just carefully so I don't paint what's beneath it. I just wanted it to be a little brighter than the wood, which is a little yellow. And there you can see, and just the word, just love. I'm going to add just a phrase there on that one block. But I love how this page came together. I love the different elements on it. It's so full of texture and actually things that doesn't go together, like really, But maybe that's just my eclectic taste. Even in my home, nothing really I don't like sets. I like to buy different things and put them together. So maybe this is just a little bit of that eclectic feel, and I love it. Maybe it's the girls on the photo that I love the most. So I did stretch out my page. So what I did was I used the Tombow double-sided tape that you can see there on the right-hand side of the screen, and I placed it about an inch apart on the back, lines from top to bottom, 1 inch apart, and then I just stretched it out on another piece of white cardstock. And that way, everything stays, it looks very finished. So that's the reason why I love it. And just adding the title. And here you can see the page all done with my snippet of a little bit of journaling on there. And thank you so much for watching, hanging out with me. I'll see you on the interweb soon. Bye.